Well, good day viewers. Today we have another adventure. It's a 2017 Volkswagen Tiguan Wolfsburg edition, and it has a history of the MIL illuminating, and it's setting up P0016, which is cam timing error code. Now I asked him if it had any noises in it when it started, and he said no, he never heard anything, but we're going to start it up cold now and listen to it. He also noted that it does crank a little longer before it fires. Now that could be because of the cam timing, that could be because of another fuel delivery problem, fuel injectors, fuel pressure leak down or something. So we'll get set up here and listen to this thing as it starts. Okay, so I'm going to start this thing and we'll hear how it fires. Well, I did hear a bit of a rattle on a cold start. So we'll have a look at what code it's generating now. So we got VCDS connected to this thing. We're going to do a scan. Okay, I got to get set up here. I just did an update on this. So I needed to update the firmware in the VCM, so I'm doing that. Okay, so we're now all updated. Let's close this, save this, do an auto scan, and try this again. This does a total scan of all the controllers and saves all the coding for future reference. So I'll pick up when we get to the end of this scan. Okay, so we have a number of codes and a number of controllers. Cam sensor code, engine speed sensor, P0 or P0016. That's like a cam sensor problem. That would account for the long crank. Boost pressure regulation. He did say it felt lazy. That's all that's in the engine control computer. There's no cam timing error code. Oh yes, there is. P0016. Incorrect correlation. P0022, bank 1 cam sensor. Tire pressure warning. Airbag code of some kind. Functional restriction of seat occupancy recognition. Implausible signal, intermittent immobilizer key. Tuner for satellite radio. Alright, we're going to save a copy of this. Well, let's have a look around here. So we're going to go into the engine controls by itself. Look at fault codes. P0016 and P0299. Then go back and measuring blocks. I think it's block 90 or 91. Let's try 91. So engine speed cam adjustment is desired at 6.3 degrees, but it's actually 28 degrees. So it's in default mode right now. Then go back. Let's clear the code. If we can clear it. So it reset that code immediately. The fault code for the under boost condition, or the boost code, just did clear. Well, we're going to have a look at the cam timing solenoid. So this is the cam timing control valve, or solenoid here. We're going to pull it off and have a look at it and see if it's stuck, and we're going to command it on and off, or attach jumper wires to it, make sure it works, and then check the spool valve in there. It looks like a T30. So there's the solenoid out, the weird T30 screws, and the plunger is not stuck, but we're going to put a couple of jumper wires to it and see if it works. But before that, we're going to look at this spool valve on the end here and see if it's stuck as well. So this is what I'm talking about, a spool valve here. It's not stuck. Now let's test that solenoid electrically. So there's a solenoid connected with a couple of jumper wires, and if I momentarily touch the negative post, so the solenoid physically works. So it's looking like this is probably got a stretch timing chain. I'm going to see if there's a quick way to evaluate the wear on the chain. So I'm just going to do one more thing here. I'm going to confirm that we do have a cam signal from the cam sensor, because it's convenient here. According to the service information, the middle wire is the signal wire on this cam sensor. So we're going to try and backpin that and get a signal off of it and look at it on the lab scope, make sure we have a clean signal. So we do have a signal out of it. It looks nice and clean. Now I can't tell by this if it's been timed. I need to do 2 channels and correlate the crank and the cam. But I think we're going to look and see what's involved in inspecting the chain for stretch. So here is the service procedure and identifics for inspecting for timing chain stretch. I want you to check base oil pressure as well, but I don't think we have an oil pressure problem. Manually inspect the timing chain following the timing chain check procedure in ELSA. Look through the timing cover plug figure 1 and 7. And figure 1, and if 7 or more threads are visible on the tensioner, the timing chain is stretched. Replace the timing chain tensioner and guides. Now that is below the motor mount, so we're going to raise it up and have a look and see if we can see this. So once you remove the right front wheel, the lower belly pan, the right inner fender skirt, and the charge air cooler pipe, you can see that plug. It looks like it's just a plastic plug. It looks like we're going to be replacing it because it just broke. Realistically, you got to have a plastic plug in that cover like that. Oh well, let's get it out. So there's the tensioner behind it, and I can count 8 threads on it. It's fully extended, so the chain needs to be replaced. So we've got this much off anyways, so we'll leave it all apart for now. I have to get a new plug for this thing here. It's got a hole in it now. Anyways, probably could use a drive belt as well, but that's secondary. We'll make another video when we do the timing chaining guides.